All right, guys, your job today is going to be to make Iron Man fly. So as you can see on mine, I've got my Danny DeVito Hulk. He is one layer. Over here, I've got my Iron Man with Mrs. Minnick's face behind it, and that is one layer. Next thing you got to do is get Iron Man the right size that you want it to be. I want it to be smaller than the Hulk because there's going to be more of him. So I'm going to put that up there, and we're going to make it look like Iron Man is solid here and then fades away as he flies in. And we need copies for that. You need to make sure that it's all one layer first, otherwise you're only going to be making a copy of the iron body without the face behind it. So we have it here. We're going to come over to the layer and we're going to right click on it, or like on my trackpad I'm using a 2-finger click, and I'm going to go down and say duplicate layer. That gives me a second one and actually put it above the first. You can't see it over here because they're literally on top of each other. So I'm going to take my one and I'm going to kind of move it down so that maybe the hand of the original is on the shoulder of the second. And then I'm going to change the opacity. Opacity is right here, and it's how dense something is in color. I'm going to change that opacity down to 80%. Okay, you can look over here, you see that he's just a little faded from what it was. I'm going to take that same layer that I just did, right click to duplicate it. And my right click stopped working, so I'm going to go up to layer and say duplicate here. Brings in another one. Slide it down. Move that one down to 60%. You're going to need to make one more Iron Man on your own. Then you have a choice. I want you to create one more character, any character you want, to be the third character on your Marvel screen. I'm going to kind of move my Hulk over a little bit. I got my Iron Mans back here. I'm actually going to join these together real quick so that if I move one, they all come with me. So I shift-clicked all my layers over here. I'm going to say merge layers. So now I've got my Iron Mans that will all move together as one piece. I've got my Hulk Danny that will move together as one piece. And then for my third character, I'm going to do File, Open, and Place. And I'm going to put Harry Potter in mine because I used him for the scratch game for 6th grade. I add Harry in. He still has a white background, so I'm going to grab the magic wand over here. Click on the white, delete it, rasterize my layer. All right, Harry's in there. I need Harry to be a little bit smaller. Let's go back to my arrow. My transform controls are on. He's going to get shrunk down a little bit because he's too big. And then I need a background. So again, you can go to Google, find something that looks good for a background. I think I already have one in my photo library, so I'm going to open and place that. That looks good. I'm going to use a cityscape background. It comes in, it's a little small. Use my arrow. Make sure transform controls are on. Stretch that out to cover the screen. And then because we use layers and the cityscape is the top layer here, everything else is behind it, I need to reorder that. So I'm going to take my city, long press on it, drag it down underneath the other ones, and now they're in front of a cityscape background. Last thing, we're going to add some text that says something like Magic Marvel. Sounds pretty good to me. Up here, you've got your text tool, and then you've got a font type. I'm going to change my font type to something a little better. I'll go. You can see it's typing up here. I can't really see it right now, but I can move it, and I can make it bigger. I can spin it. This is where that pen comes in handy. There we go. So I've got my title on there. I like it. I'm going to move it still so it makes sense on my poster, but that's your job today. Get Iron Man to fly, add your third character, add a title somewhere on your screen.